This is digital photography class. I'm going to show you how to put your found alphabet project together onto one page. So you're going to take each one of your best letters that spells out the word that you want and put it onto its own new document and save it and put it on Padlet. So we're going to go to photop.com. All right, next we are going to start a new project because we are starting a new blank document and we're going to drag the photos in just like we did on our artist trading card project. Okay, we're going to call the project by your first name, last name, the abbreviation for the project, which is FA, found alphabet, and then your period number and what version this is, in case you have more than one version. This time I'm making up a fictional student. Their name is going to be Drew, student, and it will be found alphabet, FA, and we're going to put them in period 4, and this is version 1. Next we're going to change the dimensions of the project. We're going to inches. So in the drop-down menu, go to inches from pixels, and in the width, we're going to go with the width of our photo paper. So we're going to go with 12 inches by 10 inches. It happened to already be on 10. And of course, for printing, we always go with 300 pixels per inch. We want the background to be white, and then we push create. All right. Control, Command 0 makes it fit the screen, so it is indeed fitting the screen. Okay, next we are going to go to our desktop and look for our digital photo class file. Now and then we're going to our found alphabet file and our found alphabet edited file. So these are 4 pictures that I edited. They're actually each from a different person and a different camera. Most likely when you drag yours in, they're going to be about the same size unless you cropped one of them much more than the rest. Now, mine are definitely different. Again, they're all from different devices and different people, and one of them was cropped quite a bit. So this first one, again, we're doing a project for a fictional student named Drew. So we're going to spell out Drew's name. And I'm using some of your letters that you all created. There's one from me as well. All right, so first off we have the letter D. This is one that's already been edited in levels and it has been cropped. So I'm going to drag it in. Okay, there it is. And of course there's the layer for it, and I'm going to drag it down with, I need to be on my move tool. It was in free transform, but I'm going to use my move tool and move it down. And it is tiny, okay? So we're going to have to make that one bigger. Now I'm going back to my folder, and the next letter is R. This was my letter that I shot, so it is from, I think this one is from my phone, but I did not do a lot of cropping on it. Okay, I'm going to move it over just a little bit. There we go. And I push the check mark to get rid of the bounding box. All right, then we're going with E. Okay, bring it over here. And this is from one of my students. I'm going to push the check mark. Okay, and then I'm going to go with the W. There's the W. And push the check mark. Okay, so I'm going to, you know what I can do is I can go up to the move tool, the options, and I'm going to push auto select on, and that way when I select any of the letters, it automatically goes to that layer. So watch this. Right now it's on the D layer. When I click here, it jumps to the R layer or the E layer or the W layer. Okay, if I don't have that checked on, then I have to remember to go to each layer. So right now I selected the W layer and I can move that. If I want to move the E, I have to go to the E layer And if I don't select the next layer, it's still going to move the same one. So here's the R. Okay, so these are all different sizes and I want them to all be about the same size. So we're going to start with the letter D. I'm going to put it back on auto select. Okay, and then I can just kind of select my D. All right, I'm going to go with edit and I'm going to go down to free transform. You have to remember to keep it proportional, so please hold the shift key. If you hold the shift key and only go from one of the corners, do not go from one of the center squares, only from one of the corners, and we're going to make this larger and then move it down. I let go of the shift key as I move it down and make it as large as I can. Again, keeping it proportional. I will mark you down if you squish or stretch it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to make it about that big. I do see a little bit of pixelation, but it's not too bad. All right, I'm going to go up here to the menu bar, sorry, the options bar and push the check mark. Next, since I have it on auto select, I can simply click on the R and I'm going to go to edit and go to free transform. Hold the shift key and I'm going to try to get it down to about the same size. I'm going to put it right up against it for a moment to try to just get it as close in height to the other one as I can. There we go, and then I'm going to put a little space between it. You can decide if you want to put no space or just a little space between it. Whatever it is, you're going to, if you do it, you're going to keep it consistent. So if you do a little bit of space, each one will have a little space between it and try to make it the same. Confirm. Okay. Next, we're going over to the E. I'll kind of put it in place there. Hold the, let's see, go to edit and go to free transform. Hold the shift key, make it bigger. All right, push the check mark. Okay, and then the last one is the W. The W is more of a square than the others. So I'm going to go with edit, free transform, hold the shift key, and make it larger. So it's going off the page, but I'm going to take care of that in a second. I'm going to try to get it so that the spacing looks about right and push the check mark. Okay, so here we have our 4 letters spelling out Drew. And now I need to center it and possibly make them all a little bit smaller. So I'm going to show you a little trick that will allow you to move them together and actually transform them together as one unit, because right now they're all on separate layers. Okay, to do this, what we're going to do is click on the very top layer. I'm going to actually have to take it off auto select. Please remember to take it off auto select when you do this. Okay, layers palette. We're going to the top layer. Happens to be the W in this case. And next I'm going to hold the shift key. The shift key is the magic key that does a lot of special things. So we're going to hold the shift key and go to the last layer that is, but the one above, the one that's above the background layer. So hold the shift key and click on it and it will select all of the layers in between. Okay, so if you click off of it, if you click another layer, it's going to just go back to 1. So again, you click on the top layer, hold the shift key, click on the last layer before the background. Don't click on the background, okay? And then they are all selected together. Be sure you are not on auto select when you move these, because if you're on auto select, it's just going to reselect one of the pictures and then what you have just done will be undone. Okay, it's still a little tight. Maybe it fits, all the way across, but I want a little space around it. Okay, so I'm going to move it over to the right a little here so I can see one of the corners and go to edit, free transform, and then I'm going to hold the shift key again because I still have to keep them all proportional. I can move it from either side. Okay, now it's a little too small. I'm going to hold the shift key, continue to hold the shift key, and then I let go of the mouse and then let go of the shift key. So that looks pretty good. All right, I push the check mark. And if I need to make any adjustments, I could put it on auto select to maybe just see if, make sure I have them all placed the way I want them. And then I am done. So next I'm going to save it. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Save as PSD. I'm going to save it as a PSD first. And that way, if I need to change anything, it's going to save all of the layers, and I will, you know, be able to move them. By the way, when I brought all of these in to the new document, they were all JPEGs. They were all the JPEG versions of the project. Do not, if you try to bring in one of the PSDs, there are going to be extra layers that are going to get in the way. So again, only bring in the JPEGs to the new document. Okay, next I'm going to save the whole thing as a JPEG. And so here it is. And I'm going to, okay, change it to inches just to make sure it's 10 by 12. The quality I'm going to bump up to 100%, and I'm going to attach the metadata. Push save, okay, and drag it onto the desktop. All right, now I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to, here's my edited FA, found alphabet. I'm going to drag those two files into that folder and close it up. All right, the last step is going to be to go to your Teams page. So I'm going to go to my Teams page and choose my 4th hour class because Drew is in my 4th hour class. You're going to, of course, select your own class. I've put a new link in the Padlet links, okay? And it's going to be below the artist trading card. We will find the link to Found Alphabet Critique Project. Please only put finished projects in there. I do not want single letters in there. Make sure you're putting in, you know, your finished JPEG. Okay, so now here is this is our class for 4th period. I'm going to scroll over to find my fictional character, which I added in here. There's Drew Student, and I'm going to push plus, and I'm going to push upload. All right, and I'm going to go to pick a file. All right, and I have to navigate to my digital photo class folder, to my artist trading card folder. I'm sorry, not my artist trading card folder. Let's go back. Digital photo class, go to Found Alphabet folder and the edited Found Alphabet. Make sure I'm selecting the JPEG. There it is. Choose. And there we go. It's all finished. Okay, except you do need to put your name since you may not be logged in as yourself. Okay, and there we, whoops, I just deleted it on accident. Let me try that again. All right, I'm gonna upload it. There we go. Okay, and I have the name there. Okay, so it is all finished. All right, that's how you do it. Thanks, bye-bye.